Hey, it's me, MLB. Here's a one shot for you all. This one shot was on Wattpad again, but it was only up for the very first 4 months of my writing career, not really sure what to call it. And then it got taken down, unfortunately. Wattpad just hates me at this point. I don't know why they keep on removing my stuff. They ended up removing my account. But anyway, it is going back up on YouTube, so my OG followers, those who were following me from the first 4 months of my time there, will maybe remember this story. I'm not sure. It is a little bit provocative, a bit suggestive. Nothing too much, but yeah, maybe viewer discretion, listener discretion advised, perhaps. I don't know. It's not going to be too much. It's a Kaminari ex-female listener titled Playlist, and it would have been classed as a lime on Wattpad. I don't know what I'd class it here on YouTube, but yeah, if you don't like anything that's got kissing or whatnot, then maybe don't listen. But if you do, listen on. It was lunch break at school, and you were sitting on the roof. Someone tapped you on the shoulder, and you opened your eyes and looked up. It was Kaminari. You smiled and pulled one of your earbuds out of your ears. Hey, dude. Hey, sup, what you listening to? Kaminari plopped down beside you. You handed him one of the earbuds and leaned in closer so that the cord wouldn't be pulled too tight. He listened quietly for a little bit, then nodded his head. Pretty sick, bro. But I didn't think you'd be into that. Into what? You scoffed. That, he pointed to your iPad. The music. So what did you think I would be into then? You questioned with indignation, studying the side of his face. Well, I don't know, something maybe a little more depressing. He scratched his head, giggling a bit. But I like it, it's got sex appeal. He turned his head slightly to look at you. He was so close that you could feel his breath on your face. You lurched back. Being so close to Kaminari always made your heart race. You liked him, little, but there's no way that you would ever tell him. As you leaned back, the cord yanked the bud from his ear, and he moved in the direction that it went, which was towards you, and he fell on top of you, making you squeal. Oh, sorry. He hurriedly got off you. He was bright red, heart thumping in his chest. You sat up slowly, reassuring him. Well, hey, he said, reaching into his pocket. Let me show you my playlist. His cheeky grin could only mean one thing. You took the earbud from him that he had held out and scooted closer to him again, making sure to avoid eye contact. You popped the bud in your ear, and the song started. It was a very provocative song. You could see Kaminari eyeing you from the corner of his eye, but you refused to look at him. He's trying to get me all hot and bothered, you thought. If there's one thing you knew about Kaminari, it was his love of all things flirtatious. He was a charmer, good-looking, and he knew how to get the girls. What you think? He asked with a sly grin. Yeah, it's okay, you shrugged, playing it cool. Oh, is that so? He said, flicking through the playlist. Well, how about this one? Your heart started racing as you recognised the next song that he had picked. The opening lines had something along the line of, I like your pants around your feet. You coughed and placed a hand over your mouth. You heard Kaminari hum beside you. Is it a little too hot for you, Yin? His mischievous tone spiked some anger in you. No, you idiot, you stammered. I'm fine. He chuckled. Yeah, but this stuff is useless. You can't dance to this, you said defensively. Oh, can't you? Kaminari replied, taking the earbud out and placing his phone on loud on the ground. He got up and walked in front of where you sat on the ground. You knew he could dance. You had seen snippets of his moves occasionally, but the moves that you were about to see right now were far different to anything that you'd ever seen him do before. He lowered his gaze, his eyes looking a little bit more seductive, as he did a body roll and then some smooth, coordinated arm movements. His legs moved in sequence, captivating your attention. You couldn't tear your eyes away from him, and stood up slowly as he moved. He could see that he had you spellbound, and it was exactly how he wanted it. You leaned back on the wall behind you, and he dared to come closer, pinning you against the wall and breathing out some of the lyrics. When I've figured you out, he sang. He winked at you and moved off slightly before pinning you against the wall again with a body roll. You could feel your face heating up, but it wasn't the only place that you could feel igniting. You ground your legs together, uncomfortably trying to dissipate that slight throbbing sensation there. He came back towards you again, and you grabbed his shirt and spun him around, slamming him into the wall. He froze, confused. Were you angry? You held him there for a second, head down with your fringe covering your eyes. Yin, sorry. You whipped around and dropped down, raising yourself up, ass first against his legs. He stood, shocked at your sudden tantalizing movements. You sauntered a few steps away from him and then turned to face him, doing a few seductive moves of your own. He didn't know you could dance. You'd never danced in front of him before, but little did he know that you'd taken dancing lessons for quite a long time. They had definitely paid off. Boy, had they paid off. And you walked back to him, placing a hand on his chest and leaning up to sing the next lines of the song. "And now I've figured you out," you sang. He blushed heavily. You smirked and continued your dance till the song ended. "Yin," he panted. "That was so freaking hot. I didn't know you could dance like that." You waved your hand dismissively. "Nah, I can't dance," you said, a mischievous grin plastered all over your face. "My ass, you can't dance," Kaminari retorted, snorting through his nose. The bell rang, signalling the end of lunch, and you picked up your stuff and walked to the stairs. Kaminari was still leaning up against the wall, shocked. You giggled and watched him as he watched you go. "Yeah, it's kind of cute, I guess. He'd be a fun boyfriend," you smiled to yourself. All through the next class you felt Kaminari's eyes on you. The few times that your eyes met, he'd cock his head and shoot you a crooked smile and a wink. You'd roll your eyes in response, but you loved the attention. After school, you walked to the gate, pulling your iPod out of your pocket and plugging yourself in when you heard Kaminari's voice calling to you. "Hey Yin, wait up a sec." You halted and turned to look at him. "Sup?" he said, eyeing him suspiciously. "Hey, listen, those are dance moves," his voice trailed off. "They were nothing, dude. Get over them," you laughed. "No, seriously, they were hot," he said firmly. "I kind of got me in my feelings." He looked away shyly. "What do you mean?" you asked, tilting your head curiously. "Well, He glanced back at you, then looked at your lips, biting his own bottom lip. "Kaminari, you went to say something, but before you could say any more, his lips were on yours." "Whoa, what?" you said. "Sorry, forgive me, His sentence was cut short by you returning the kiss with your own soft lips crashing into his. He made a surprised sound, muffled by your kiss. "I think you're cute, Cami," you said quickly, looking away. He reached out and took your hand. "Want to practice those dance moves together?" He winked and gave you that sexy smile of his. "Can you handle them?" you replied cheekily. And that's the end. I hope that wasn't too racy for you. Don't think it is. If you've been reading stuff on Wattpad, this is going to be very tame. Thank you once again for listening, and I'll hopefully be back very soon with another one shot that I've randomly found hiding in the drafts section of the computer. Bye.